I often get asked what the purpose of meditation actually is, and maybe even the meaning of life, which I was very invested in finding out for myself for a long time because I saw a lot of suffering and I experienced a lot of suffering, and I didn't think that that was the point. So, what I find first and foremost is that meditation can be an effective tool to help first change your relationship to the things that generate suffering in your life, and then second, obliterate suffering. So, I'm not talking about changing the fact that we're human and that we don't get sick, experience loss, breakups, deaths, um, financial issues. All of that happens. But what I am suggesting is that you're paying so much attention to the blissful, joyful, peaceful, simple part of your experience that you don't care. I'm not saying that there aren't moments where you're irritated, but you're fascinated even by the irritation, or you're just irritated way, way less. Um, so, meditation for me definitely has given me the ability to change my relationship to suffering. And other people around you will say, "Oh, you poor thing." They won't understand why you're not responding the way they would respond or the way you would have responded at some other point in your life. They'll look at you and they'll think something's changed. And depending on their own stress and their nervous system, the filters that they're seeing things through, depending upon how that is for them, is how they'll judge your experience and how they'll bring that to your table. And then you get to decide whether what they're having to say and what their experience is a clear enough mirror for you. I recommend finding not only an awesome meditation practice, one that will truly help you to change your relationship to suffering and allow you to just bask in greater fascination and innocence and joy, but also have some playmates in the sandbox. And there are playmates out there who are much clearer mirrors than many of the stressed out people in your life currently. So there are varying degrees of people you will trust and share your experience with. And when it comes to sharing your experience of what meditation is and how that's going for you, I recommend finding somebody who's already walked that path and sharing those intangible, contradictory, totally amazing internal experiences with somebody who's been there and maybe is still there. So, this is just one benefit, one purpose of meditation and of life is to transcend the whole idea that suffering is a requirement. It is not. And from a person who was riddled with anxiety, depression, and fear, and was labeled PTSD at an early age, I can tell you that anything's possible. Anything's possible. And if you're willing to allow for that to be a possibility and to find a practice to at least just start to see what you're telling yourself and the things that you are conditioned to just take for granted as being the way that they are, you too might begin to experience a very large shift in your relationship to suffering, allowing you to live in a greater expanse of peace, joy, and passion for life. Let me know if you have any questions or maybe what your experience already is of that, because some of you definitely are in the sandbox with me already. Namaste.